everybody, it's Wendy, and if you watched my tutorial on this necklace, the sea glass necklace on the Coriana chain, we are going to make a bracelet and earrings to match this. So I'm going to be using all the same beads that are on here. I have the Starfish beads, which are available on my website if you want those. I've got these wavy spacers. Most of these things you can get on my website. These beads came from either Michael's or Joann's. I cannot remember which. And the round sea glass beads are on my site. The square sea glass beads I got from Cherry Tree Beads. Okay, so that's where those square ones came from. But the round ones are on my site. These are on there. I think I have Starfish Charms on there as well. The wavy spacers are on there. The Coriana chain is on there. And I have cut a 6-inch piece or 6.5-inch piece of the Coriana chain to use for my bracelet. Let me lay him up here so he's kind of, we can see him, but he's our inspiration. And I have the small 3mm spacer beads on my site. As well as some head pins you're going to need, and you're going to need a couple of crimp tubes, and you're going to need one of these magnetic clasps, and these are available on my website as well. Now normally I don't like to put magnetic clasps on bracelets, but this is a very strong magnetic clasp and it works really well with this Coriana chain, so we are going to use it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead for the bracelet. Let me scoot him over a little. And I'm going to finish the one end. So if you see, these magnetic clasps have a small hole on one end and a big hole on one end. So what you want to do is you want to take your Coriana chain, slide it through the small hole, put on your crimp tube. These are size 2 bead-along crimp tubes, and these work really, really well for this chain. That's what I found. And we're going to go ahead and crimp it. And I just pull it right up here to the end of my chain and crimp it down. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and round him out. Now these crimp tubes I found are a good size for this chain. They're size 2. They're by Bead-along, so they're a good quality because I've been told, I've had struggles with crimps, and I'm told that you have to buy good quality crimp tubes. So here we are. We've got Bead-along crimp tubes in a size 2. Now when you pull it up in here, it should go up in your clasp if you have rounded it enough. And if you haven't rounded it enough, just round it a little bit more until it will go up in there. And these little, you just keep rounding, and then eventually you will get it small enough that it will go up in your clasp, just like that. And if you pull it up in there, and it is good and strong, and it will not come out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bead what I want to do right here on my Coriana chain. So I want to match this guy, or, you know, make it similar to him. So I'm going to start out with a small blue bead, just like this, on this end. And then I think I will graduate up to one of these square beads. I just absolutely love this sea glass. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to do a wavy spacer and a bigger bead here. Okay, now I have to be careful and only do about 3 inches, and then I'll have to repeat my pattern back down the other way. I'm going to do a starfish bead. Maybe. There we go. Let me get my ruler so I can kind of keep it. Yeah, I want to do about 3 inches, so I'm going to go here to the 9. And then I'll have to do my pattern back the other way. So we'll do the starfish bead. Let's do one of these guys, this little round one here. And then I think I will go into the blue. This is a super simple little bracelet to do. I'll do a little tiny spacer bead. And then I'm going to go into this green. Do another wavy bead. And then I want to do the greener of these big sea glass beads. Now let me see where I'm at. And I'm getting close. So let's see here. Let's do one of these big guys. And then probably another wavy spacer. Okay, so I'm probably about ready to start back down my pattern here. Yeah, I'm really close. I could add one more bead. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add another of these green ones. Okay, so there is my pattern. Now what I want to do is I want to start going back down the other way. I'm going to repeat the pattern, but I'm going to go backwards. So I've got this bead here, so I'm going to do another wavy spacer. Just like that. The big blue, and I'm just going backwards. Repeating the pattern backwards. The green bead. Just like that. The wavy spacer. This green bead over here. The little spacer. I can find the hole in that guy. He's so tiny. Okay. This blue bead. Then I've got this green one. My starfish. My big sea glass bead. My wavy spacer. My square bead. Oops. And my smaller blue bead. Now, I do have a little space left at the end here, and trying to decide if I have enough room to add a starfish in the middle here, and I think I do, so I'm going to do that really quickly. I think it would look good, and I do kind of want to take up all the space on this chain because I measured it directly for my wrist. So let's put a starfish in there, like this. Yeah, that would look good, I think. And then we'll repeat the pattern backwards. So sorry. I should have realized I would have a little extra space there, but I wasn't sure. Okay, so now we'll go back with the pattern. But that's what you do when you're designing. You kind of figure it out as you go sometimes. Let's see. How is that wavy spacer on there? It cups the bead. Okay, so let me do this one the same way. And then we've got our little green square. Our silver spacer here. And there we go. And then our blue square. And then our green bead. Our other starfish. Come on now. Okay. And then our big sea glass bead. Our wavy spacer, and this is going to leave just enough room for the clasp, I think. This green square. And our little blue one. Wow, it's still got a little bit of room there. Okay, well let me measure it. So it is right about 6.5 inches, which is what I need it to be. So I actually need to add another bead. Let's see, how could I do this? I know you guys are probably like, I cannot believe you are taking that off of there again, but it's got to be even, so I am taking it off there again. Sorry guys, this is what happens when you're designing on the fly. Alright, starfish. Then we'll do another little blue bead. This should do it though. This should take up that extra space when we get to the other end. Wavy spacer. You just get to watch me string beads multiple times tonight. Okay, green bead. That's funny. I thought it would take it all the way to the end, but it did not. Adding those two in should do it. Okay. And then my green square, my little spacer, my blue square, my round green bead. Oh, I love that color. I think those are so pretty. My next starfish, my big sea glass bead again for the third time. My spacer. Does it cup the bead? It does. Okay, spacer, square bead. Yeah, this is going to take it to the end. And my little blue guy. Alright, now what we want to do is we want to take our clasp and put the small end through the chain, just like this. And then we're going to take our little crimp tube again, put it right here on the end and crimp it down. Okay, my crimp pliers are sticking to the clasp. Okay, and I am going to make sure that I'm crimping this pretty close to the end, but I am leaving just a tad bit of room in here because I want there to be a little bit of movement. I don't want a whole lot of movement, but I don't want it to be stick straight either, because then it just puts pressure on your beads and on your clasp. So you want there to be a little bit of movement, a little bit of room for movement. Okay, now let's see, and that goes right up in my clasp, and I can trim off the excess wire that's poking out right here. And there is our bracelet. So let me see if it fits me. Sometimes I get them too small. And, yep, this one is too small. So I will have to restring it. But you get the basic idea. And I am so bad at measuring my bracelets. They're always either too small or too big. And this one is definitely too small. Unbelievable, because I did measure this on my wrist before I cut the chain. So who knows? I do this every time. But this is really cute. I will take it apart and restring it. But anyway, it matches our necklace perfectly. So now we're going to do a pair of earrings. Let me lay that aside. These do not require a clasp, thank goodness. They do require some fish hooks. And I'm going to get a couple of eye pins out. I'm sorry. Okay, so here are a couple of eye pins. Now, how do we want to do this? I think we are going to use a small bead and this guy here, a wavy spacer, a big bead, another wavy spacer. I keep swatting at little gnats. I don't know why I have gnats in here in this bead room, unless Sadie has carried something up here, which is quite possible. She is well known for finding things like food and putting them hiding it places. So, okay, I'll tell you that in a second. Bend this 90 degrees. Cut it about your finger's width and roll your loop back. So we're packing the other day, and I'm coming up down the stairs, and she's coming up the stairs, and she has got something orange in her mouth, like a big orange thing. And I'm like, what is that? I know she doesn't have an orange ball. So she has got a tangerine, an entire tangerine in her mouth. I have no idea where she found it. No clue. I didn't even know we had any tangerines, but apparently we do, or we did. And so she is carrying the tangerine upstairs because she's going to hide it, because that's what she does. And I'm like, hey, when I realized what it was. And so she starts running because She knows I'm going to take it away from her, but I got it from her and, of course, put it back in the kitchen. But I'm like, I mean, she takes food and hides it places, and I don't even know where she finds it. So she's probably hidden something here in my bead room, and it is attracting gnats because there are little gnats flying around, and I can't figure out anywhere else they would be coming from because I don't have any food in here. So I'll find it probably when we move. Sadie has hidden a piece of bread crust or pizza crust, or maybe she found another tangerine. I don't know, but she's very resourceful when it comes to, and she remembers where she puts the stuff too. So she'll go back later, you know, and she'll come out with a little piece of a pizza crust, and we're like, where did you get that? Well, she's hid it somewhere. So, all right, so we're going to take our starfish and we're going to make a little dangle. See how cute he is? Do I want to do it that way, or do I want to do it this way? Yeah, because that makes the little head pin less noticeable. Okay, I'm just going to bend it 90 degrees. Clip this off right here. And roll this loop back. I can't believe I did my bracelet too small. I do that every time. Either too big or too small. I never get them right. Okay. And we'll do one more of these. And 90-degree angle here. Trim it right about here. But I do love these magnetic clasps. I mean, look at that. It's just awesome. It's got a spacer bead stuck to it. A couple spacer beads stuck to it now. But they just work so good. And it's strong. It's not going to come undone. Which I love that about them. Because usually magnetic clasps I think are kind of weak and I'm afraid of them. But these are really strong. Okay, so we're going to take this. And I'm going to open the head pin here because I think it'll be easier, and attach my little dangle to it just like that. And then I'm going to just attach it to my fish hook just like that. Now I like these fish hooks. Normally I would not like this kind of a fish hook with this big long thing here, but I thought with this they kind of look like fish hooks, like real fish hooks, so I thought they kind of went with this. I thought they were cute. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach that. And you could even, I believe, with this fish hook, let me look at something here. You could even take something like this and put on there. You could do that. That would be kind of cute. Little beads or some sort of, you know, let me see if these would work. These are those little check spacers that I got at Hobby Lobby for their sale. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Well, maybe. I don't know if he'll go around that corner. He won't. But a bead with a wider, like that, that spacer did. This one won't either. But yeah, this one would. That's kind of cool if you wanted to do that. I don't know that I really, well, it's kind of cute. And you could do 2 or 3 of them on there. Let me see what they would look like. Yeah, normally I wouldn't care for these fish hooks, but I thought they looked so much like a real fish hook that they were kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I don't think I will, because I think that would get on my nerves. I would be afraid they would come off. But you could do something like that. So anyway, here are the earrings. I will restring the bracelet since I made it too short. But I think it makes a cute little set. And they're quick and easy. These magnetic clasps are really pretty awesome. So if you're interested in any of these products, I do have a bunch of them available on my website. The starfish beads are there, the magnetic clasps, the round sea glass beads, the Coriana chain, a bunch of it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and like it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified when I upload more videos, because I do a lot of tutorials and a lot of sets, especially when I get the bargain bead box. I do a lot of sets. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm going to get off here and get some stuff done, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!